Coming to seated, easy pose, Sukhasana. Settle into that. If you prefer to kneel or have your legs straight out, just for sure at the beginning, find that place of comfort for you so that you can bring yourself to the mat without that distraction. And so as we do and often in these practices, we will start in our grounded position with the palms down. Welcome to Monday Easy Flow. Beginning by exhausting all the senses, closing the eyes, closing the mouth to breathe through the nose only. Listening as far as your ears can hear and in all directions. Be the witness to each sound. Identify it without letting it distract you, and then move to the next sound. And as you do this, making your way in closer and closer to your mat. As you've exhausted all the sounds, arrive at the sound of your own breath and be the witness to the sound of the inhalation and the sound of the exhalation. Now feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Become aware of the places where your clothing contacts your skin. Awareness to the contact points between your body and the earth, which may be at the mat, maybe at the cushion that you're sitting on, palms of the hands and the thighs. Now shifting awareness to notice any smells that are in your space. Again, being the witness, identifying them, and then letting them go. And now bringing awareness to Chitta, which is the space behind the closed eyes. A powerful space for both unconscious and conscious mind. With the eyelids closed, no light can get in, and yet you may see colors or patterns, images. In this space, bring the conscious mind to consider what you would like to bring to the mat today. And then find a word or a few words that are positive words to describe that quality that you are bringing to the mat in both mind and body. And then repeat that word or words to yourself mentally 3 times. This intention is a seed that you have planted in both mind and body. The practice nourishes it. There is a certain amount of trust that we have to have in this process of exhausting the senses and setting the intention as a routine that really brings us to the mat, present for the practice. And now bringing awareness to the breath and awareness to that flow of air in and out. The ultimate easy flow is simply an awareness of the breath moving in and out. linking movement to that wave of breath. Inhale and open up through the chest, reaching the rib cage up toward the ceiling, the sternum up toward the ceiling, letting the head release back. And then as you exhale, actively pull navel to spine and side body to center as you round through the spine, spinal flexion, chin toward the chest. Let's do that 2 more times. So inhale. Feel free to keep the eyes closed or to open them. And one more time, inhaling, finding what we might refer to as cow in the upper body. And then exhaling, rounding to cat. And then inhale up to a neutral position. Switch the positioning of the legs if you're in Sukhasana. So if you have this asymmetrical form in your body, switching to the leg that's farther out, being in closer, and re-grounding. If you have the legs straight out or you're kneeling, you could just shift around a little bit to make sure that you're still comfortable. Palms are still down on the thighs, returning to cow and cat. So inhale, find that cow in the upper body. Exhaling, rounding to cat, just maybe being the witness to any change in how this feels since you've shifted the legs. Inhale up to cow. Exhale around to cat. And again. And then coming up to a neutral position and placing the hands beside you on the mat, pressing in and actively dragging away to just help you find a really nice tall spine. Feel that in the body. Keep the energy in the hands. That could be fingertips or palms, whatever your preference, into the earth and dragging away without any movement through the hands or arms. Keep that and then extend the legs straight out. So we're shifting into Dandasana, still with lots of energy in the arms, fingertips or palms to the ground. Pull the toes toward the shins, push through the heels, wake up through the calf muscles. And then release. Press the base of the big toes down toward the earth. And then again, pull toes toward shins. And then press base of big toes toward the earth. One more time. Arms are still very energetically keeping your spine up nice and tall. And then release. Now bring the soles of the feet together and release the hands from the side of the mat. Bring them to the shins, just above the ankle. So we're in Baddha Konasana now. Take the forearms to press into the inner thighs, or you could use the hands if you prefer. Find a nice tall spine by pressing those forearms into the inner thighs or the hands. And when you press down, the spine lifts up. Inhale and reach the rib cage forward a little bit. Exhale, return to nice tall neutral spine. 2 more times. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, return to tall neutral. And again. Subtle movement, but you'll notice the shifting in the hips there. Now bring the knees together. Make your way to tabletop position. Cushion can go out of the way. It's nice to have it handy in case there's another time in the practice when it would feel good to use it. Take the hands underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers as wide as possible, and do a nice slithering motion from side to side. So just inviting the water element into the body and that idea of just finding ease and movement, checking in with that idea of flow. And then coming to stillness and coming up to the fingertips here. Imagine that your fingertips are dragging toward each other on the mat so that you're really making a nice strong arch in the palm of the hand to support you. Keep the legs where they are, the hips over the knees, and walk those fingertips as far forward as possible. If this is feeling a little intense in the hands, you could reach for the blocks at this point, put them on their lowest level and place the palms of the hands on the blocks. So option to either stay up on those fingertips, which are dragging toward each other, or palms on the blocks. Take an inhale right here and find cow in the upper body. Maintain cow. Exhale, release the forehead down to the mat, and your hands might need to slide farther forward so the hips stay lined up over the knees. Release the head down to the mat if possible. And then inhale to lift up off the mat a little bit. Exhale to release down to the mat. Your cushion could come in handy if your forehead can't reach the mat. Inhale, come up. One more time. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come up. And exhale, walk yourself back to tabletop position. Palms return back down to the mat now. Take your right leg out to the side. I'm going to take my left leg out here, but right leg out to the side and bring the foot up as high as you can. So just play with that for a moment, walking the foot up high. It might go higher than your hip, but for many people, even getting to the hip level is perfectly fine. So right leg is out. I've just got my left leg out. I'll switch around actually so that you can see me. Right leg out. In this position, inhale to cow, and then exhale, round up to cat. And again, inhale to cow, exhale to cat. One more time. Return to a neutral position with the hands. Let's repeat that Anahastasana that we just did, but keeping the leg out. So come up to the fingertips again. Keep the hips exactly where they are over the knee, and then walk as far forward as you can with the fingertips. Take an inhale. Exhale, release the forehead down to the mat. Inhale, come up. 2 more times. And 1 more time. You're either up on the fingertips or the palms of your hands are on those blocks. Coming up, walking back to your tabletop position, slide that right leg in underneath the hip. And now let's do the same thing on the left side. So extend that left leg out now. Take a moment, wiggle it up to however far you can get it. That will open up through the hip a little bit more. And then inhale, find cow. Exhale, round to cat. And again, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. 1 more time. And then find neutral. Come up on the fingertips. Walk the fingertips as far forward as you can, or palms on the blocks. So hips are staying exactly where they are in space. Take an inhale. Exhale, release the forehead right down to the mat. Keep the arms really energized and lifted toward the ceiling. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, come up. And just noticing if there's any differences when you move from one side to the other, like the different leg position will change this. Coming up and sliding the hands back underneath the shoulders to tabletop. Return that foot, a knee to underneath the hip. Tuck the toes on the right foot and slide that foot back. Push the heel to the space behind you, and then slide that knee back in. Left side, toes tuck, press back. And in. Let's do that 2 more times each leg. So right leg, toes tuck, push the heel back and come in, making it a little dynamic, which is the really nice thing about flow practice. And there's always lots of blood movement in this to make us stay a little bit warm. Okay, coming back to tabletop position with both toes tucked now, walk the hands back, come to a low crouch, and then come all the way up to standing. And if you're not at the top of your mat, make your way up there. You might want those blocks up there in the highest position. That's optional. They might be handy when we come to the lunge section of the classical sun salutation. Take a moment here, rock back and forth on the feet, roll the shoulders a few times, reach the crown of the head up toward the ceiling, relax the arms down, palms facing forward. Inhale, lift all 10 toes. Exhale, release them down. Inhale, come up to the balls of the feet, challenges the core a little bit, and exhale, release back down. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, palms to touch. Exhale, slide the hands down in front of the body and fold over at the hips. Bring the hands to each thigh. Inhale, find cow in the upper body. Exhale, fold over the legs completely, sliding the hands down to support your low back. And then finding a place where you can find straight legs and the hands to support you. So on your shins, on the mat, or on your blocks with straight legs. And then let's take a few breaths here to settle into this forward fold. First of all, inhale, lift all 10 toes, spread them wide. Exhale, release. Now inhale, straighten the leg out just a tiny bit more, both legs actually. And then exhale, navel to spine, see if you can fold a bit more. Now lots of focus on the exhale. Every time it arrives in the body, navel to spine, see if you can fold a bit more, head is completely relaxed. One more full deep breath here. And then hands are blocks or the mat. Inhale, step back with the right foot, lower the knee to the mat and reach the rib cage forward. Now, if you have your hands on the blocks, You might want to bring them in so that they're kind of in line with your ankles. Reach the rib cage forward. Your hands could be on the mat here too. Exhale, lift that knee up and press the heel back. Inhale to lower. Let's invite a twist. Inhale, bring the hands up to the thighs. And exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, come back. Exhale, hands to the mat now, whether or not you had the blocks before. And then exhale back to tabletop position or to downward facing dog. Yogi choice here. So invite that water element in by moving maybe through the calves. If you are in tabletop, you might want to wake up through those calves a little bit more by doing that alternating heel press that we were doing before. Stay here for a couple more breaths. Breathing and inviting movement into the body. Head is relaxed if you are in downward dog, and crown of the head is reaching forward if you are in tabletop. Finding stillness from down dog. Inhale, lower both knees down to the mat. Exhale, bend the elbows and slither forward. You might have to move those blocks out of the way. Stay with the hands where they are. Actively pull the elbows in toward each other. Press the hands into the mat and drag back as you inhale into a deeper cobra pose. Take one more full deep breath here, and then exhale back to tabletop or downward facing dog. And again, inviting movement into the body in whatever way feels good. Then find stillness, look to the top of the mat. Inhale, step forward, right foot, back knee lowers down. Again, this might be a time when you want to invite those blocks to find ease. Exhale, lift that knee up, push the heel back. Inhale to lower. At the same time, bring the hands up to the right thigh. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, hands can go back to the mat, the blocks this time, or the mat. Inhale, reach the rib cage forward. Exhale, stepping into Uttanasana, the forward fold. And right away, imagine the feet scrubbing away. Come all the way up on the inhale. Palms come up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Let's do the same thing again. First, inhale, lift the toes up. Exhale, release them down. Inhale, heels come up. Coming to the balls of the feet. Exhale, lower. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Gaze up there if that feels good. Exhale, fold over halfway only. Separate the hands. They land on the thighs. Inhale, find cow in the upper body. Exhale, fold over the legs, taking the hands down to support the low back and landing with those hands in a place that allows you to straighten out the legs. So again, it might be the blocks in front of you. Head is released. Stay here again. Inhale, straighten out the legs a bit more. Exhale, navel to spine. See if you can fold a bit more. Let's do a couple more breaths with that, with a lot of awareness at the exhale, navel to spine, and deepening into that fold. Option to even bring the hands behind the calves to help pull you into that very gently, always on the exhale. One more full deep breath here. And then inhale, hands to the mat, left foot steps back, knee lowers down, reach the rib cage forward. Hands could be up on your blocks if you want to, but it's kind of nice to have them on the mat at this time. Exhale, lift that knee up, push the heel back. Inhale to lower, hands come up to the right thigh. Exhale into the twist again. So we're repeating this one that we just did, and release back. Exhale, plant the hands on the mat, definitely there. Inhale, reach the rib cage forward. Exhale back, tabletop or down dog. And again, inviting any movement that you want into that pose. A reminder too, with the head, they're doing two different things depending on whether you're in down dog or tabletop. In tabletop, the crown of the head is reaching out to that space ahead of you, away from the tailbone. In down dog, the head is relaxed. Press the heels toward the mat in down dog. Inhale, lower both knees, find cow in the upper body. Exhale, bend the elbows, slither through. Keep the hands where they are. Very active, pressing into the earth and dragging back. Stay with that for 2 breaths. Really energize the elbows toward each other and the hands into the earth and back. And then ready, exhale, tabletop or down dog, your choice. Invite movement in. And then find stillness, look to the top of the mat. Inhale, left foot steps forward, lower the back knee, reach the rib cage forward. Hands could come up to the blocks here. Exhale, lift that knee up, push the heel back. Love that little move. Inhale to release, bring the hands up to the left thigh. Exhale into the twist, and you could use your hand to actually pull on that thigh. Inhale to return. Exhale, lower the hands. You could do the blocks again if you want to. Reach the rib cage forward. Exhale, stepping in, Uttanasana, forward fold. And then feet scrubbing away from each other. Inhale, come all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Nice work. Release the arms down into Tadasana for a moment. And take both feet so that the toes come as wide away from the midline as they can. So just turn the feet all the way out for a moment. This turns the hip into external rotation. Both feet are out. Push the hips forward a little bit. Just feel that difference in the hips here. Nice. And now bring the right foot back in and then the left foot back in. So we're back in traditional Tadasana. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold all the way over the legs. Hands can land on the blocks, the mat, or the shins, your preference. Inhale and step back to a plank position from here. Nice. Hang on to this plank. Imagine the hands are dragging back, the feet are dragging forward, and the shoulders are relaxed, like you're kind of pushing away from the earth to create space in the shoulders. Now inhale, lower both knees down. Exhale, bend the elbows, go halfway down. Inhale, come up to upward dog. So the arms straighten out and you flip the feet so you're on the tops of the feet. So the only thing on the mat right now are the tops of the feet and the hands. Take one more inhale here. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up in the air and bend the knee so that you're opening the pelvis toward the right side of your mat. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, level out the pelvis, step forward with that right foot. Inhale to lower that left foot back. So now both feet are in line with each other. That's very important. So if you want to take a moment to look. Now, another inhale, reach the rib cage forward. Exhale, imagine the feet are dragging toward each other. And then inhale, come up to warrior two. Yeah, so warrior two, your torso is now facing the side of your mat. The arms are forward. Well, one arm is forward, one arm is back. Gaze is out over that right hand. So normally I would mirror you in these positions, but since we're doing a mandala going around the mat, I'm going to do the same leg as you. So right foot is forward. Toes can lift easily. Take another inhale here. And then exhale, straighten out that front leg. Turn the palms toward the side of the mat, same side that your torso is facing. And inhale, reach, reach, reach forward with that right hand, as if you're pressing the left hip back as you're doing that. And then exhale to windmill those arms. So the right arm is coming to the inside of the calf and the left arm is stacking over the shoulder. And with that hand on the inside of the calf, press on that calf muscle to open up through the twist a little bit more. Now let's think about the head. You could look to that thumb, or you could look to the floor. That might keep you a little more stable because with your feet in one line like this, it does challenge the core a bit. Now let's inhale and unwind from that. Exhale, flip that right foot toward the side of your mat and release at the same time the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhale to reach the hands toward the mat. And then exhale to fold at the hips and bring the arms all the way up and over the body as far as they will go. If you pull the navel to the spine here, that might help release the muscles in the back to fold a little bit more. Inhale to release the hands down to the mat, shoulder width apart. And if you'd like to, you could bring the body up as you do that to a half lift. So your body is parallel to the floor. Exhale, bend that right knee. So you're sliding toward the top of your mat. Inhale, come up to center in that half forward fold. Exhale, bend the left knee. So you're sliding toward the back of the mat. And then inhale to pivot around so you're facing the back of your mat in a lunge position with the right leg back and the left foot forward. Reach the rib cage forward here. Again, exhale to lower that knee down and just tap. Inhale to reach up and push the heel back. Exhale, bring that front foot back into plank. So here we are in plank again. Yummy. Take a moment here. Imagine the hands are dragging backward, the feet are dragging forward. Inhale to lower both knees. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower the rib cage halfway down. And then inhale, straighten out the arms. Press yourself back up into upward facing dog. Tops of the feet on the mat and hands on the mat. Stay here for a full deep breath, imagining that you're dragging the hands back. That might help deepen the back bend. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg comes up, bend the knee, open to the side. You could do this from tabletop, but it might be fun to experiment with downward dog. Exhale, level the pelvis out, and at the same time, step forward with that right foot. Inhale to lower that back foot. Maybe check that your feet are in line. That is really important. Right now, they need to be in line with each other. Inhale, reach the rib cage forward. Exhale, imagine the feet dragging toward each other. And then to that, inhale up to warrior two. Sorry to have my back too. Easiest thing in this mandala. Sink into it. Remember, the torso is facing the side of your mat. And that happens because your feet are in alignment, right? If your feet were hip width distance apart, your body would face the front of the mat. Okay, here we go. Let's exhale to straighten out that leg. Turn the palms to the side of the mat. Inhale, reach toward the back of your mat. The left hip is pushing toward the front of your mat. And then exhale to windmill the arms. So the right arm comes underneath the shoulder and into that calf. The left arm is up stacked over the shoulder. You could gaze at that upper hand, or you could gaze at the mat or somewhere in between. If your gaze is at the mat, it will help with greater stability. Hand on the inside of that calf is pushing to deepen that twist. Oh, that feels good, doesn't it? Checking in with a little fire energy there. Inhale to unwind. So bring the arms up to parallel. Exhale, turn the right foot toward the side of the mat. Bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers again. Inhale to reach the hands toward the floor. Exhale to fold right over. Bring those arms all the way up and over. You can gaze in behind you through the legs if that feels comfortable. And then inhale, release the hands to the mat underneath the shoulders and come to the half lift. Exhale, bend the right knee so you're sliding toward the back of the mat. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend the left knee so you're sliding toward the front of the mat. Stay there. Inhale, pivot around. You're facing the front of your mat again. Nice. And then exhale, find plank. Beautiful. Stay a moment here. Hands dragging back, feet dragging forward. That just takes a moment to really engage the core. Inhale, lower both knees. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower the rib cage halfway. Inhale, coming upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Now we're going to go around the mat in the opposite direction. Inhale the left leg up in the air, bend the knee, open the pelvis to the left side of your mat. Exhale, level it out and step the left foot through. Take a moment, make sure those feet are lined up. As you inhale, release that foot down. Take a moment there, check it out. Make sure you have that foot alignment. Really important to just take a moment there. And then inhale, reach the rib cage forward. Exhale, imagine you're dragging the feet toward each other. And then inhale, come up, warrior two again. Nice. Stay here. Check in. You can lift those front toes. Now exhale, straighten out that front leg. Inhale, palms turn to the side, reach to the front of the mat, toward the front of the mat. Right hip now is pushing back behind you. Exhale, windmill the arms down, finding Trikonasana. Again, your gaze can be up at that top thumb or down. Use that left hand into the calf muscle to push and deepen the twist. Yeah, that's a way of connecting with the earth to facilitate greater range of motion higher up the body. One more breath here. And then inhale to unwind. Arms come up. Exhale, flip the left foot toward the side of the mat. Release the hands, interlace the fingers the awkward way. Nice. Inhale, reach the hands toward the earth so that you get greater space between the ears and the shoulders. Exhale to fold all the way over. Bring the arms up and over as much as you can. See what happens in the shoulders there. Let the head hang down. And then inhale, release the hands under the shoulders. Come to the half lift. Exhale, bend the left leg so you're sliding toward the front of the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, bend the right knee so you're sliding toward the back of your mat. And then inhale to pivot all the way around, facing the front of the mat again. Nice. Exhale to lower that knee down. Inhale to lift up. Nice. Exhale to plank. Stay in this plank. As you inhale here, imagine hands dragging back, feet dragging forward, and then stay for the exhale. Yeah. Inhale, lower both knees, or you could keep them lifted if you prefer. A little more challenge in the core. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Stay in that upward facing dog for a breath to really visualize the hands rooted and pulling back. Again, another way to use the earth energy to help us get greater range of motion upper and more up in, oh my words are not coming out, higher up in the body. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up in the air, bend the knee, open to the side. That is such a yummy space to take. Push the right heel into the mat, and then exhale, level out the pelvis, step forward with that left foot. Inhale to lower the foot. Exhale to just check that your feet are in alignment there and that you can wiggle the front toes on that left foot. Now, inhale, reach the rib cage forward. Exhale, feet drag toward each other. Inhale, come up, warrior two. Nice. That dragging of the feet, it's an earth energy connection that gives you that ability to come up with more strength and power. Nice. So settle into this. Check in that you can feel the toes, ability to lift in that left foot. And now exhale, straighten out that leg, palms turn toward the sides. Inhale, reach out over the back of your mat. Right hip is pushing away toward the front of your mat. Exhale to windmill. Hand comes just inside the calf. If you can reach the floor, great. Other arm stacking up on top, gaze up or to the mat, your preference. And then check in again with that hand on the calf. Use it to press and open through the twist. Some people like to do this with the hand behind. That's fine too. I just find it nice on the inside to give you that ability to press into the twist a little more. Let's take one more full deep breath here. And then inhale to unwind. Exhale, flip that left foot toward the side of your mat. Bring the hands back behind you. Interlace fingers the awkward way. Inhale, press the hands toward the earth. Lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold all the way over. If you pull the navel to the spine, that might help you get even more into that fold than you imagine. And then inhale, release the hands down underneath the shoulders to the mat. Bring the body to the half lift. Exhale, bend the left knee so you're sliding toward the back of your mat. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bend the right knee so you're sliding toward the front of the mat. And then inhale, come all the way, pivot around. Reach the rib cage forward there. Nice. Exhale back to plank. Stay here for the inhale. Imagine feet dragging forward, hands dragging back. Hang out with that contraction happening through the exhale. And then inhale to lower both knees to the mat. Exhale, bend the elbows, half chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, down dog. Inhale, lower both knees to the mat. Exhale, big toes touch, knees go wide, press back, child's pose. Inhale, come up to that modified tabletop with your legs still in child's pose position. Exhale back. And again. And then stay in child's pose for a moment. Take a few breaths. Now that we've gone around the mat in that mandala one time and we kind of know where we're going with it, let's try it again and we'll speed it up just ever so slightly. Stay in this child's pose for another couple of breaths. And then inhaling up to that modified tabletop. Exhale, bring the knees underneath the hips and the feet go wide so they're in line with the knees. Tuck the toes and then take an inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg goes up in the air, bend the knee, open to the side. Exhale, step that foot forward. Inhale, reach the rib cage forward, lower the foot. Exhale, imagine the feet dragging toward each other. Inhale, come up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten out that front leg, turn the palms toward the side of the mat. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, windmill, arm comes down, top arm stacks. Stay here. One full breath, inhale and exhale. And then inhale to unwind. Exhale, flip that right foot toward the side of the mat, bring the hands down, interlace the fingers. Inhale, reach the hands down. Exhale, fold, bring the arms up and over. Inhale, release the hands to shoulder width on the mat, coming up to that half lift in the body. Exhale, bend that right knee, slide toward the top of your mat. Inhale up to center. Exhale, bend that left knee, slide toward the back of the mat. Inhale, pivot around, reach the rib cage forward. Exhale, lower that knee down, just tap. Inhale, come up. Exhale, back to plank pose. Inhale, lower the knees. Exhale, bend the elbows, half chaturanga. Your knees could be lifted here if you prefer. Inhale, come upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up, bend the knee, open the hip to the side there. Exhale, stepping through. Inhale, lower that right foot. Exhale, imagine the feet dragging toward each other. Inhale, come all the way up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten out that front leg, flip the hands. Inhale, reach out toward the back of the mat. Exhale, windmill. One arm, right arm comes down, left arm goes up. Stay here for a full deep breath, pressing with that hand to the inside of the calf if you want that deeper twist. And then inhale to unwind. Exhale, right foot flips to the side, bring the hands down, interlace the fingers. Inhale to reach toward the earth, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, folding all the way over. Inhale, hands come to the mat, body comes to the half lift. Exhale, right knee bends, slide toward the back of the mat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, left knee, slide toward the front of the mat. Inhale, come around. Reach the rib cage forward. And then exhale, plank. Inhale, option to lower the knees. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Going around the other way. Inhale, left leg up and the knee open to the side. Exhale, stepping through. Inhale, lower the foot down. You could also reach the rib cage forward here. Exhale, imagine the feet dragging toward each other. Inhale, come up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten that front leg, palms flip to the side. Inhale, reach out over the front of the mat. Exhale, windmill down. Stay here for a full deep breath. And then inhale, unwind. Exhale, left foot flips toward the side of the mat, arms come down. Interlace fingers the awkward way. Inhale, lengthen, lengthen here. Exhale to fold, arms come up and over. Inhale, hands release to the mat, body comes to the half lift. Exhale, bend the left knee, slide toward the front of the mat. Inhale up to center. Exhale, bend the right knee, slide toward the back of the mat. Inhale, pivot around, reach the rib cage forward. Exhale, lower that knee down, just tap. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, find your plank. Inhale, option to lower the knees. Exhale, bend the elbows, half chaturanga, or you could be in full. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, down dog, or you could be in tabletop here. Inhale, left leg up, bend the knee, open to the side. Exhale, stepping through. Inhale, rib cage reaches forward, foot releases down. Exhale, imagine the feet dragging toward each other. Inhale, come up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten out the leg, palms turn toward the side of the mat. Inhale, reach out toward the back of the mat. Exhale, windmill. Nice. Stay here for a full deep breath. So you can really use that hand if you want to deepen through the twist. And then inhale to unwind. Exhale, left foot flips toward the side of the mat. Arms come down, interlace fingers the awkward way. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, folding over. Bring the arms up and over as much as they want to go. Head is released. And then inhale, release the hand, shoulder width, bring the body to the half lift. Exhale, bend the left knee, sliding toward the back of the mat. Inhale to center. Exhale, bend the right knee, sliding toward the front of the mat. Inhale, pivot around. Exhale, find plank. Inhale, option to lower the knees. Exhale, bend the elbows halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lower both knees to the mat. Exhale, big toes touch, knees go wide, press yourself back to child's pose. Again, inhale up to that modified tabletop with the legs still in child's pose. Exhale back. And again, inhale up. And exhale back. And now inhaling up. Bring the knees underneath the hips. Take the feet to hip width distance. Walk your way back into a kneeling position. Those feet and legs can stay in hip width distance, or you could bring them closer together. So check in with what feels good there. And then just take a moment, bring the palms to the thighs, slide the hands back into the crease at the hip, relax the shoulders down. Toes are untucked here. If this is a little crunchy in the knees, option to come right up to the high kneel, or this is where your cushion can be handy. Place it between your hips and your heels. That just opens the angle in the knees a little bit. So, another option if you're wanting to work through this range of motion in the knees is to have quite a thick bolster that you place between the heels and the hips, and see if you can, over several weeks, make that cushion smaller, like go from a big bolster to a cushion to maybe a rolled up towel, and you might eventually be making it right down onto your heels. Of course, you might not, but it's always fun to experiment. All right, take one full breath, close the eyes. And then turn the whole of the head to the right. Come back to center. Turn the whole of the head to the left. And come back to center. Release the hands down to the mat. So if you're in a kneeling position, as I am, fingertips can touch the mat. Walk them back, open up through the shoulders, reach the crown of the head straight up. It's tempting for the chin to tuck or reach forward here. So tuck it back toward the neck. And if you're in a high kneel, just bring the arms back without touching the floor. Nice. Stay here for a full deep breath. Open up through the shoulders there. And then from here, release the arms, make your way into Shavasana. So Shavasana is lying on the mat, supine, so facing the ceiling. Make your way there. You could go from your side and roll over, or you could make your way onto the forearms and release back. Knees are bent, soles of the feet on the mat. Take a moment to apply a little traction to the neck. So interlace the fingers behind the head and just lift and pull the head, and then release it down. So the crown of the head is really reaching out straight behind you. And then walk the shoulders away from the ears and release the arms down by the side with the palms up. And then extend the legs straight out. Let the feet fall away from the midline. This is also another place where the cushion might be handy. So it might be that you really like it behind your head, or it might be that you like it underneath the thigh so that the knees are slightly bent. For some people, that's a release in the low back. You might like two cushions, one under the head and one under the thighs. Wherever you are, just check in and wiggle around if you need to find your most comfortable position in that Shavasana, so in that supine position. And again, another thing to think about is that when you're actually in Shavasana without any props, your spine is so nice and straight. So it might be that something you could do is to also lower the height of those cushions if you have them underneath your thighs or your head right now over time. So going to a smaller rolled up blanket or a smaller cushion, so that eventually you are comfortable lying flat on the mat, which would really give you nice spinal alignment for the posture. Wherever you are right now, just invite heaviness into the whole body. It's like your muscles are just melting off the bones, and the bones are dissolving into the earth. Inviting heaviness into the body allows you to invite stillness into the body. And that stillness in the body invites stillness into the whole of the mind as well. Body and mind finding relaxation through that stillness. Bring your awareness now to Chitta Kasha, the space behind the closed eyes. Return to the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice, repeating it to yourself mentally 3 times. Knowing that if you can visualize it, you have started creating it. Maybe the tiniest of seeds, barely manifesting itself to you in your daily life, but it is happening. Bringing in awareness now back to the breath, deepening it, expanding through the belly, the side body, and the rib cage. Nice, strong exhale, maybe drawing abdominals in, maybe an audible exhale, whatever feels good. And then awareness to the body, inviting movement in whatever way feels good. That might be fingers and toes, it might be shoulders, it might be the head moving from side to side. And then when you're ready, link that breath to body, taking a big stretch on your inhale and exhaling, bending the knees to roll to one side. And let the head rest on your arm, or if your cushion is handy, you could use that. Take a full deep breath there in that fetal position. And then inhaling, pressing yourself to seated. And if you're finding Sukhasana and you discover that you're going to the same Sukhasana that you started the practice with, like the one that comes naturally to the body, maybe switch it up. Yeah. And let the hands rest with the palms up. Take a moment to close the eyes. Visualize an abundance of ease pouring into those open palms, ease spreading to every cell in your body. And then sealing the practice by bringing the palms to the heart center and bowing inward. Namaste. Thank you so much for bringing your energy to our easy flow morning. Let's take a moment to see what goddess energy is with us today. Do a little shake about here, clear the energy from previous choosings. And let's see what we got here today. Artemis, guardian, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. Wow, on Family Day, that's pretty awesome. Yeah.